Hey everybody, and welcome back to just another video here on my channel. Today is May 15th and it's pretty much the midst of the second quarter, and therefore I wanted to make this video today to talk about the major sales days that you as an e-commerce brand should tap into to make the second quarter the best quarter of 2022. So without any further ado, let's hop straight into it. So here we are with just another video here on my channel with, this time, a little bit different of a setup. Usually it's more of a front-facing type of video where I'm explaining or talking about a certain topic. However, I wanted to switch things up a little bit, and therefore we do have this kind of split screen setup right now where, on the one hand we are within my computer, but I'm also talking to you guys, so you do not really miss my face for too long. So yeah, without any further ado, today's topic is e-commerce sales days in Q2. For those of you who have not really been around for, the past couple of weeks or months since the inception of this channel, my name is Victor. I'm the founder of Victory Media, a boutique Facebook marketing agency that exclusively works with e-commerce brands to help them scale their revenue to the next level with properly implementing Facebook ads. And one major thing that we are obviously doing day in, day out is structuring out offers and taking a look at, okay, what are our upcoming sales peaks for this particular client, and how can we tap into that from a offer as well as from a messaging perspective, in order to obviously get their revenue to their next level for those really national, or for those sales holidays or niche specific sales days. So without any further ado, let's hop straight into it. Those are the things that you will learn today and that we will talk about in the next couple of minutes. And that is, first, the importance of tapping into those sales days. There's still brands out there that don't think that they actually have to message that moment. So we'll talk about why it is so important that you actually tap into those. Secondly, we'll talk about why to message the moment actually, and really kind of take a look at this shift in consumer behavior, not only for those big sales days like Black Friday, Cyber Monday, but just in general, right? What are people and your market and your target audience doing, and how are they reacting to particular days of the year whatsoever? Are they celebrating those? Are those of importance for you and your brand whatsoever? So we'll talk about that, and last but not least, we'll obviously wrap it up with upcoming sales days in Q2 and how to leverage them to make your Q2 the best Q2 that you've ever had, and maybe the best quarter of 2022. We'll see. For me personally, I've seen some really record sales days already right now in the second quarter with some of our clients for Cinco de Mayo, as well as Mother's Day weekend. Sometimes even higher sales days than our prior Black Friday, Cyber Monday sales days. So maybe you are also one of those brands that can actually really properly tap into those macro momentums, and pick those up and tap into those. So, however, without any further ado, this is definitely important, right? As I've already mentioned right now, there are still those brands out there that say, okay, sales days are not really so important for us. We want to be, a high quality brand. We want to, we don't really want to be seen as a discount brand, neither of something that is, devaluating their quality, which in my opinion, first and foremost is either way, not the same thing, right? Going for, sales days and having maybe some kind of offer running on your page for those, for this limited time is not the same as devaluating your complete brand equity. However, this for another day. Either way, sales days are not only a great opportunity for you to run an offer and increase the incentive for your target audience, but most likely, right, your target audience will probably be out there, actively looking for deals, and for deals to celebrate this holiday, or just for deals in general, and to discover new brands. So you want to make sure that you're definitely in front of the right eyes with the right messaging angle. So, they actually, kind of their eyes are drawn towards your product, brand, and niche. So, those are the good news, right? General adoption and spending in e-commerce and online sales are significantly increasing. Obviously, general spending and revenue of the e-commerce sector has been significantly increased over the last couple of years. However, as we take a look here at this, trend from Statista. We can also see that, especially for the holiday seasons, obviously there's a huge trend going on in terms of retail e-commerce sales. However, in general, there's also an adoption for national sales holidays, niche specific sales holidays, and people are actively looking out for deals as well as new brands to discover in those huge shifts of consumer behavior. So the good news is that more people are searching, but the bad news, with more demand comes obviously more competition, right? So, the more brands are entering the game, more brands are entering the game, more consumers are, more conscious about, okay, what is happening on Facebook, how brands are leveraging the data, the personal data, to advertise to those people, as well as, obviously just generally advertising platforms become more expensive, and privacy issues are at an all-time high. It doesn't matter whether it's governmental issues like GDPR, or governmental laws like GDPR, or enterprise updates like iOS 14.5. More and more privacy data laws are being introduced into the digital marketing space, which is obviously on one side the consequence of just a maturing industry, but on the other side it obviously makes the job for us to advertise a proper sale, or to just generally advertise online, a lot harder. So those are the three biggest mistakes that I see brands make when it comes to first of all, not tapping into the sales days at all, but also when they're actually even making a sale, that they're not really properly launching it. Because in my opinion, right, there are a lot of things that can go wrong when launching a sale. And when I talk about launching a sale, I don't mean just by default running the plain 40% off angle or whatsoever, side-wide, probably 40% side-wide discount whatsoever. I really like to be more intelligent and more strategic when I launch a sale with one of our clients, especially when we talk about those niche momentums where we can actually niche sales days where we can actually connect some emotions in regards to that regards to that sale, connected to that national holiday whatsoever. Let's take, for example, April 4th or July 4th for it, right? Kind of the momentum and the emotion that is connected to that particular day of the year, and actually kind of connect that to the brand, the particular product and sale. So kind of those are the three biggest mistakes that I see right now. So let's talk about them. So the first one is that they're focusing only on the big holidays and do not really tap into consumer momentum all year long, right? This is actually, there's a new video coming up on this pretty soon, where I'll talk about the 4-year revenue peak instead of just a 2 peak revenue year. Where you want to make sure that you have a consistent cash flow increase and actual kind of inventory turnaround for all year long, and not only like a huge spike on Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and maybe kind of on the kind of third quarter or first quarter when you're launching a couple of new products, right? But you want to have a kind of gradual and steady growth line where you have like several peaks of revenue and of sales throughout the year. And that is the first thing that I see brands are not really focusing on, right? They do not really try to go ahead and talk about, okay, what is my target audience actually looking for, right? What kind of sales days are they celebrating? Are they big into gifting, right? How, therefore, maybe sales days like Mother's Day, Father's Day could be really, really important to me, right? Are we more of a diversified target? Are we going for a more diversified target audience with, for example, an apparel brand? So is Pride Month in June, for example, something that might be of interest for us, right? Are we a sustainable brand, right? How can we actually tap into those, as I said, right, kind of, temporary shifts in consumer behavior and actually leverage that momentum for us, our brand, and our revenue targets. So that's the first thing, right? Only focusing on big holidays and not making sure to also kind of take those small wins, because they will accumulate to some bigger growth further down the line. So that's the first thing. Secondly, right, they don't really create an offer according to their problems, which is, for example, cash flow, turnaround, whatsoever, right? So a lot of brands, it doesn't matter whether it's, Black Friday, or even if they're launching sales throughout the whole year and actually trying to tap into that momentum. And again, all the time when I say sales, or offers, I do not necessarily mean a 40% off discount for, you know, the whole product collection or for the whole site, right? I'm talking about, you know, various different options also that you can run an offer, right? That might not really decrease your brand equity or attract discount purchases, right? Offers like, you know, bundling your products, right? Kind of having more of a general box, right, of different products when you, for example, have an apparel or fashion brand, right? Going for, you know, if you're a consumable brand, going for like a higher offer or a temporary good offer on your, you know, higher subscription plans, right? Adding some more value by adding some info product, PDF, learnings, ebooks to it, right? Or maybe a limited product drop, right? If you're an apparel brand that is maybe like really big into influencer marketing, go ahead and actually make it drop, a limited product drop for just 1 month, which is, you know, your brand X, you know, the influencer that is really big in your niche, right? Those are, for example, just a couple of things that are on top of my mind where you really have to think outside of the box in order to make a proper sale, right? And that comes back to, you know, they do not really create an offer to their problems. Most brands go ahead and say like, hey, here's a 30% site-wide off, right? Enjoy it, make sure to save today, right? However, you know, they don't really take a look at, okay, what are the things, you know, for example, what are our low turnaround SKUs, right? Can we maybe discount them more, right? Can we bundle them more and actually make sure that we have those kind of prioritized in our marketing campaigns as well as on our landing pages, so they do get some more turnaround and they're not just kind of, you know, occupying space within our 3PLs or within our, you know, within our inventory, within our fulfillment centers, right? Secondly, right, what are, for example, our, you know, what is our average order value, or how are our average order value buckets structured, right? So average order value and average order value buckets are two very different things, right? For example, you know, there's a brand that sells, you know, $40, $80, and $120 product, and the average order value for them is maybe $70, right? They do not actually have, a product that costs $70, but it's the average of all the orders that have been, you know, that have been ordered over the last couple of months, weeks, or years, right? However, average order buckets is then actually diving into that data and talking about, okay, are more people actually, you know, going for the, you know, $80 option for the $80 product and only for the $80 product, and kind of just the minority of people are buying the $60 product, or so many people actually buying the $60 and $120 product, but none of them is actually buying the $80 product. So where should we really go ahead and optimize our sales for, right? They do not really create an offer actually talking about that and saying, for example, hey, we bundle, you know, those 3 variants of our product, or if you're an apparel brand, those 3 products, and, you know, then the next one, like the last shirt or the last design or whatever, is for free or 20% off. And with that offer, for example, you're even attracting more like higher value customers, because then they're immediately going for a higher average order value than your average customer. So first, they're not really tapping into those big holidays. Secondly, right, they're not really going ahead and creating an offer that is according to their problems. And third is their marketing is not in line with their offer because they don't really have a proper layout, right? You want to make sure that every time when you launch an offer, you do have all your channels actually, you know, driving traffic to it, and also having a proper layout and a proper messaging angle for those. So talking about, you know, Mother's Day, talking about, you know, the gifting angle, right? Are people buying that for themselves? Are people buying that for their best friend? Are people buying that as a gift for their mother, right? Are people buying that, you know, for whatever reason, right? You want to know this and make sure that you tap into that with the proper messaging angle, right? So let's talk about the sales holidays that are happening in Q2 that I think every e-commerce brand should at least have a look into to see whether, you know, those are, you know, holidays that you could tap into with a proper offer, you know, with some kind of, you know, messaging angle, with, for example, also just doing something for charity. This is also some type of an offer that does not really decrease your brand equity or, you know, customer, your customer value at all. Saying like, hey, it's National Pet Day, right? like 20% or 40% of all our profits, we are donating to this and that organization, to help dogs, street dogs and cats, or street animals whatsoever, find shelter, right? Those are also incentives that you can give your customers to actually have more of a reason to purchase with you on that day, and actually kind of push them over the edge, right? And this really connect this with your brand. So National Pet Holiday, April 11th, already happened this year, right? Note it down for the next year if you haven't done anything this year. Perfect, as I said, obviously for canine brands and companies that sell product supplies, right? Secondly, it's Easter, right? Easter was really big for some of our clients here at my agency, Victory Media. We had, sometimes up to like 1 week of an Easter sale, or sometimes also just, one particular campaign, sometimes site-wide whatsoever, right? However, it's just a general celebration in that time, where also, a lot of people are out looking for gifts, right? When you're, however, trying to go for that gifting angle, make sure that you have some lead time before actual Easter weekend, before that Holy Weekend, because you want to make sure that, obviously people get their gifts and their products before Easter to then enjoy that weekend with their loved ones. So third is Earth Day, right? Especially for brands, outdoor brands, survival brands, sustainable brands with a purpose. That is a huge key day. We've actually gone as far as saying like, hey, we are going for a complete Earth month. We've done that with a client last year, which actually had some really, which came into great fruition, which came with great returns. I don't know what happened there right now. However, which came at great returns, and I think that this is definitely something, if you're more in the nature space, that you could tap into. So then Cinco de Mayo, especially if you're, kind of more with a Hispanic background, we do have a client that actually is, a Mexican brand that has entered the American space, the American market last year. So with them, we've launched a huge sale for Cinco de Mayo, have broken all the sales day records, right? Last Black Friday, Cyber Monday was pretty low for them, obviously, since they were just entering the market. However, we had huge sales days with a really, really good return, 3x ROAS. So that was 3x MER, for that particular day. And usually, since they're still new in the market, we're rather looking at a 2 to 2.5, and hugely dependent on Facebook, right? So, Cinco de Mayo is always a great day also to tap into potential target audiences that might not really be, so much in your, in your key target audience, but then you can really scale horizontally. So that is, then afterwards, obviously comes Mother Day. Perfect to have a major campaign going live. Also a week or two earlier, similar to, to Easter, where you go ahead and really tap into that gifting angle. Memorial Day, right? One thing that it's only for the Americans, of American brands that are watching that. However, obviously also one thing where you can really, really tap into. So then we have the Pride Month, right? This is for the whole June, and especially for those niche apparel and fashion brands, that I think is a great opportunity to tap into those, right? Have what I really, would like to do eventually with one of our apparel clients is definitely go ahead and actually have maybe a limited product drop. I know that is a little bit more of an effort always to have on the, on the client side, have a limited product drop, but a limited product drop for Pride Month is, awesome if you have something like, more of a legacy brand or something, or a high quality brand, and you go ahead and have like a product collection of like 3-4 products that will only be available in that month, where you go ahead and have maybe some more designs that are more targeted for just general pride, for kind of the homosexual movement whatsoever, which is generally super great to also strengthen your brand equity and run a month-long promotion. So then Best Friends Day in June 8th, perfect for also the gifting angle. And if you have for example a best friend bundle, right, that works really great, right? Having some maybe a week for kind of appreciate your best friend. Hey, here with our best friend bundle, and as a skincare brand, for example, right, that would be working great. Father's Day, right, again, really good for gifting, right? If you know that you have some type of a men's targeted brand whatsoever, it doesn't matter whether it's men's skincare, men's apparel, whatsoever, and you know that a lot of people are also would want that for gifting whatsoever, there's a really way to hop into that. First day of summer, also perfect way of running a summer promotion, especially for people that have kind of a larger catalog, also to focus then on those, best performing SKUs that are, more best selling in summer and in those summer months. So yeah, without any further ado, that is pretty much it. Those are definitely kind of the wait a second, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 events and 10 sales holidays that I think you should be tapping into when it comes to running, when it comes to really tapping into that general consumer shift of behavior, but more consumer behavior shift, and really make sure that you do have an offer that goes in line and actually connects your brand to that particular national sales holiday. I've seen it countless of times where, we've used those, where we've used those national sales holidays or niche specific sales holidays and really, really hit a home run with brands. So I can't emphasize that enough, especially considering that you do want to have a gradual line, a gradual growth line and a gradual, cash flow and turnaround happening within your inventory. That is great to really, really avoid those valleys, and especially the second and third quarter when we do not really have those huge peaks like Black Friday, Cyber Monday, or whatsoever, right? So a new video on that is coming soon in terms of the four peak revenue year, which I think is really, really going to be helpful for all those e-commerce brand owners out there and marketers. So if this is something that you are or that you might be interested in, then make sure to subscribe right below, and drop a comment below if you like this kind of switched up setup right now, or if you like more of the front-facing camera setup where I literally just talk to the camera. So either way, let me know, and I hope I'll see you next Thursday in the next video. See you there. Keep growing. Thank you so much for watching the video to this point. I know that if you've come this far, that you form a part of an exclusive group of people that do not only talk, but walk the talk, and that you are hungry for more content. So therefore, I went ahead and picked out an exclusive video just for you that I know you're going to love. Check it out right here.